Hi guys, this is the weekly tarot card for Monday the 21st of February 2022. Now I'd already shuffled the cards and cut them, and the card that came out is here in front of me, and then I had a bit of a sneezing and coughing fit and had to stop. But it was the card for this week, so we're going to go with it, and it is the Eight of Discs or Pentacles. Absolutely beautiful in the Rorig deck. You've got this beautiful card. Do you see a bonfire? Do you see a tree? I think this is amazing, absolutely amazing card. I often think as well that the tree, when you get close to it, it's got the little bit on it that looks like lungs. And we've also got the fire of the bonfire, so it can be a tree with tree roots. It can be a bonfire. And there's a little group of people beside either seeking warmth or shelter. It's lovely. So globally, what can this mean for us? Well, it can mean that we feel that we're looking around and saying, you know what, we're okay, we've done okay, and we're in a more safe place than we were before. It's about people coming together and using their techniques and their talents to work for the whole, and for basically sharing talents, sharing reserves, so that there's a feeling of security and caution. But the name of the card in Rorig is Prudence, and it basically means that there is a time to be prudent. There's times where we don't go willy-nilly spending money, and that involves governments as well. There's times for us to come together as groups, and basically share our resources for the benefit of humanity. And obviously this is a global aspect to the card, so I'm hoping to see that there's a lot more mediation, that there's a lot more talking about how to be cautious and maybe pull back from dangerous things in the world, because this card is about recognising that in the week ahead there is a need to be cautious and actually to go on with that, to be prudent, to know what you've got and what you can use it for, and pull back from any sort of mad behaviour for the greater good. So I'm hoping that around the world globally, that politicians, world leaders, etc., whatever they're discussing or whatever's going on, that they have a sense to know what's safe and what's not, and also be cautious. So fingers crossed. In your career, when we go personally for this, remember it will have an influence on a lot of people and not so big an influence on others, but it's a time for maybe sharing resources, maybe looking at a team and knowing that the team can do better if people would share more and would come together more for a common practical cause. But sometimes it takes someone to gather people and to make them see this. And if that's you, then go for it. Think of the bigger picture of the team. You know, it could be that if a team performs very well, they'll less likely maybe be touched by redundancy. It's like just coming together to be sensible and maybe even forget rivalries for the sake of being sensible and safe in a way. It's also in work a time to maybe do a bit of work in advance, because you know there might be a kind of weird time coming, and it's better to actually be a wee bit ahead in the week ahead. It's not a bad card. It can actually have a wonderful outcome if people just work with it. So just remember to be thinking a wee bit more ahead. Also, making patterns from the past serve you better for the future. Um, if we look at health, I sometimes say don't get too close to fire, so it can be like watch out for burns, which I should have taken note of last week, because I did in my hand on the oven. I don't think it shows up, but it's there. But this for me, the tree looks like lungs. So people like myself that are asthmatic or whatever should possibly be looking more after their lung health, and taking in inhalers or medication that they need to. And also with this, remember the tree aspect, that beautiful feeling of fresh air that's round trees. Maybe get outside more and breathe more fresh air. I'm certainly going to try and do that anyway. With relationships, it urges a wee bit of caution for new relationships. Be very careful if you get into a relationship where you feel as though you've maybe reached a stage in your life that you're fine, and a potential partner comes in that would be taking little bits of that, whether it be too much of your time, too much of your energy, even financially. This can be a good warning card to watch out for a negative potential partner, just seeing someone that instead of maybe giving or sharing is there to take. And if you're in a longer term relationship, you should benefit from this card, because it can feel very safe that you've maybe done this to your house and that's stopped something, and or together as a partnership you feel secure because you've put in the work. You've maybe come through hard times, but you're on a more solid ground now. So a good one for longer term relationships. A wee bit of a warning one for new partners coming in. If we look at money, again, it's possibly about not spending loads of money in the week ahead, being cautious, preparing for things further down the line that you might need a wee bit excess. And that can work with things like, we know that inflation's going up, we know that things like gas bills and stuff and food bills are going up, so it would be worthwhile not putting out the money on a dress or a coat that you didn't need, so that you had the money behind you for food. So it's that basic of a card when we bring it to finances. Spiritually, I just love the aspect of fire and air, and the sense of people gathering together. When we send healing and when we say prayers, I always believe that there's a stronger resonance when there's a sense of group. Many of the gatherings I've been part of that have had even, maybe 16, 20, 25 people, and have had ritual or sweat lodge or prayer, the energy has felt amazing, far, far stronger than if it was just one person here and one person there. But with COVID and stuff, we've not been gathering. So again, it's important that if it's safe to do so, that we start to connect a wee bit more, getting back to nature, maybe being outside, meeting up with some friends, saying a few prayers for spring, or, just getting outside mainly and letting nature allow you to be together in the safety of the fresh air. So I do like the spiritual side of this card. There's a sense of people realising that they need one another, and that spirituality is fine sort of in solitaire, in solitary we got on with things, but the amount of maybe more fun and more power that comes through meeting up. And if you're in a place that can't happen at the moment, then certainly online, and certainly our Sunday healing rose for souls, maybe just even taking part in that, you will find that your energy just spirals up. So it's, in some other decks, it's more of a big warning card, you know, like get yourself organised, get prepared. But in Rorig, there's the aspect of, yes, being still aiming for being prepared, but knowing that you've got a degree of preparedness behind you and working with that and with other people for a sense of future stability. I like the Rorig version of it, I must admit. So if you like the way I read the tarot, my book Tarot Novice to Pro is in online bookshops. Been out for 12 years now, I think, 11 years. It's a good wee book for someone that's learning the tarot and wants to have it almost like bite-size, I would say. And if you like and want to support the channel, then I have a coffee link below that you can buy wee coffees. So many blessings now, and have a good and prudent week. Bye now.